Please visit us at This program is brought to you by Stanford University. Please visit us at stanford.edu. Thank you. I'm honored to be with you today at your commencement from one of the finest universities in the world. Truth be told, I never graduated from college, and this is the closest I've ever gotten to a college graduation. Today, I want to tell you three stories from my life. That's it. Not big deal. Just three stories. The first story is about connecting the dots. I dropped out of real college after the first 6 months, but then stayed around for another 18 months or so. So why did I drop out? It started before I was born. My biological mother was a young, unwed graduate student, and she decided to put me out for adoption. She felt very strongly that I should be adopted by college graduates, so everything was all set for me. Be adopted by except they decided at the last minute that they really wanted a girl. So my parents who were on the middle of the night asking, we have an unexpected baby boy. Do you want him? They said, of course. My biological mother later found out my mother had never graduated from college, and my father had never graduated from high school. She refused to sign the final adoption papers. She only relented a few months later. My parents promised that I would go to college. This was the start in my life. And 17 years later, I did go to college. But I naively chose a college. This was almost as expensive as Stanford. All my tuition. After 6 months, I couldn't see the value in it. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my mental health. I had no idea how college was going to help me spend all my parents had saved their entire life. So I decided to drop out and trust that it would all work out okay. It was pretty scary, but looking back, the minute I dropped out, I could stop taking the required classes that didn't interest me and begin dropping out of the ones that looked interesting. It was all romantic. I didn't have a dorm. I returned Coke bottles for the 5-cent deposit. Across town every Sunday night to get one good meal. I loved it. And much of what I stumbled into, much of what I curiosity and intuition, turned out to be priceless. Let me give you one example. Reed College at that time offered part of the best calligraphy instruction class. Throughout the campus, every poster was beautifully hand calligraphed. Because I dropped out and didn't have to take the normal classes, I decided to take a calligraphy class to learn how to navigate. I learned about the serif and sans serif typefaces between different letters. Great. It was beautiful, historical, artistically subtle in a way that science can't test. None of this had even a hope and practical application in my life. But 10 years later, when we were designing the Macintosh computer, it all back to me. And we designed it into it all. It was in the first computer. If I had dropped in the single course in college, the Mac would have never fonts. And since Windows just copied the Mac, it's likely that no personal computer would have them. If I had never dropped out, I would have never dropped in on that calligraphy class. I would pick up typography Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college. But it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust something. You got destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that will give you the confidence the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something. You have to trust in something. You got destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing the dots will connect the door. Give you the connect down the road. Even when it leads you off the well-worn path. Connect down the road. Will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even with life, karma, whatever. Because believing the dots connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. Even when it leads you. Will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference. My second story is about love and loss. I was lucky. I found what I loved to do early in life. Wars and I started Apple. We worked hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just the two of us in the garage into a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. We just released our finest creation, the Macintosh, a year earlier, and I just turned 30. And then I got fired. And then I got fired from a company you started. How can you get fired from a company? As Apple grew, we hired someone who I thought was very talented to run the company with me. For the first year or so, things went well. Then our visions of the future began to diverge. And eventually we had falling out. Sided with him. And so at 30, I was out. And very publicly out. What had been the focus of my entire adult life was gone. And it was devastating. I really didn't know what to do for I felt that I had let the previous generation of entrepreneurs down. That I had dropped the bottom. I met with David Packard and Bob Noyce. And tried to apologize for I was a very public failure, and I even thought about running away from the valley. Something slowly began to dawn on me. I still love what I did. The turn of events had not changed that one bit. I'd been rejected, but I was still in love. And so I decided to start over. I didn't see it then. But it turned out that could have ever happened to me. The heaviness of being successful was replaced with the lightness of being the beginner. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. During the next 5 years, I started a company named Pixar and fell in love with an amazing woman who would become my wife. Pixar went on to create the world's first computer-animated feature film, Toy Story, and is now the most successful animation studio in the world. In a remarkable turn of events, Apple bought Next. In return to Apple, the technology we developed next is the heart of Apple's current production. I'm pretty sure none of this would happen if awful tasting medicine, but I guess the patient needed it. Sometime life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. And that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. And don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years go on. So keep looking. Don't settle. So keep looking. Don't settle. Keep looking. Don't settle. Keep looking. My third story don't settle. Is about depth. Keep looking. Don't settle. When I was 17, I read a quote, the one something like, if you live each day as if it was your last.
When I was 17, I read a quote that went something like, if you live each day as if it was your last, someday you'll most
certainly be right.
It made an impression on me. And since then, for the past 33 years, I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no, I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change. Remembering that all the dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make
everything, I'll be dead soon.
Is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life.
Make the big choice in life.
Because almost everything,
all external
expectation
or pride,
or fear of embarrassment or failure,
or fear of embarrassment or fear,
in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure. These things just fall away.
In the face of death,
living
only what is truly important.
Remembering that you're going to die
is the best.
To avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose.
Thinking
you are already naked. There is
you
no
already
reason
naked. This is no reason not to follow your heart.
About a year ago,
I was
diagnosed with cancer.
About a year ago,
I had a scan. You are already naked. There is no reason
not to follow your heart.
About a year ago, I was diagnosed with cancer.
About a year ago,
I had a scan at 7:30 in the morning, and it clearly showed a tumor on my pancreas. I didn't even know what a pancreas was. The doctors told me this was almost certainly the type of cancer that is incurable. No longer than 3 to 6 months. My doctor advised me to go home and get my affairs in order, which is doctor's code.
For prepare to die. It means trying to tell the kids everything you thought.
It means to make sure everything is buttoned up so that it will be as easy as possible
for your family.
It means to say
your goodbyes.
I live with that diagnosis all day.
I live with the
Later that evening, I had a biopsy in life, where they stuck an endoscope down my throat, through my stomach and into my intestines, put a needle into my pancreas and got a few cells from the tumor. I was sedated, but my wife was there and told me that when they viewed the cells under a microscope, the doctors started crying because it turned out to be a very rare form of pancreatic cancer that is curable with surgery. I had the surgery, and thankfully, I'm fine now.
And thankfully, I'm fine. I'm fine now.
This was the closest I've been to facing death.
This was the closest I've been.
Having lived through it, I can now say this to you with a bit more certainty than when death was a useful but purely intellectual concept. No one
wants to die.
Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get
there. And yet, death
is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be. Because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Right now,
the new is you.
But someday, not too long from now,
you will gradually
become the old.
You will gradually become the old. And
sorry to be so dramatic.
Clear away.
It's quite true.
Sorry to drama.
Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma.
Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the result of other people's thinking.
Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice.
And most important,
have the courage to follow your heart.
Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already
everything else is secondary.
Everything else is secondary.
Truly want to become. Everything else. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary.
Because everything else is secondary. When I was young,
there was
an amazing publication.
There was an amazing publication called
which was one of the
Whole
Bibles
Earth
of my generation. It was created by a fellow named Stuart Brand, not far from here in Menlo Park. And he brought it to life with his poetic touch. This was in the late 60s.
This was in the late 1960s.
So it was all made with typewriters,
scissors, and
it was sort of like Google in paperback, 35 years before Google came along. It was idealistic, overflowing with neat tools and great notions. Stuart and his team put out several issues of the whole
and his team.
And then, when it had run its course, they put out a final issue. It was the mid-1970s, and I was your age. On the back cover of their final issue,
of
an early morning country road,
final paper,
the kind you might find yourself hitchhiking on if you were so adventurous. Beneath it were the words,
stay hungry,
stay foolish. It was their farewell message. Stay hungry,
stay
foolish.
I've
always wished
for myself.
And now, as you graduate to begin anew,
I wish that
stay hungry,
stay foolish. Thank you all very much. Stay foolish. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Keep looking, don't settle. Stay hungry, stay foolish.
The preceding program is copyrighted by Stanford University. Please visit us at stanford.edu.
はい、ということで、スタンフォード・ユニバーシティ、Steve Jobs sees the most.
Please welcome to speak to us the funniest man on earth, a performer of legendary comic genius, a children's book author of profound depth, an individual of enormous